stops crowned legends, the story of Mtume. The information for this story comes from the internet and may not be accurate. Yo, before we even get into it, mad love to my subscribers holding it down day one. You know who you are. The real ones staying woke while the rest just scroll. Don't sleep. Hit that like and subscribe, cause this story ain't some bedtime lullaby. Nah, this is about Mtume, a man who rewrote funk, R&B, and soul while the world mostly slept on him. Strap in, cause we diving deep into the grind, the glory, the drama, and the music that still hits harder than a brick to your chest. Mtume, born James Mtume in 1947, came up in a household where jazz wasn't a hobby, it was oxygen. His father, jazz sax legend Jimmy Heath, wasn't just playing for fun. He was schooling the kid in what real music, discipline, and hustle looked like. And his mom, she wasn't just background noise, she was art in motion herself, nurturing young James's creative hunger. Street translation, the kid didn't just grow up listening to music, he lived and breathed it, whether he wanted to or not. Early life wasn't all smooth melodies though. The streets, the city, and the constant grind of a musical household taught him hard truths early. Talent alone don't pay bills, ambition alone don't guarantee respect. But Mtume, he absorbed it all. He saw the game, learned the players, and figured out how to stay 10 steps ahead while keeping his craft untouchable. By the late 60s, Mtume was already grinding in the professional jazz scene, linking up with cats like Hugh Masekela and Pharoah Sanders. He wasn't just a kid trying to get his foot in the door, he was studying, absorbing, and plotting. While others were chasing fame, he was building a foundation. And that foundation, man, it was solid as concrete, ready to hold decades of funk, R&B, and hip-hop influence. But let's be real, jazz, for all its sophistication, wasn't exactly bringing the paper like the pop and soul world would later. So Mtume started to cross over, dipping into R&B, funk, and soul. That's where his genius kicked into overdrive. He could feel what the streets wanted, what the clubs needed, and what radio could handle, all while keeping the integrity of his sound intact. That skill would define his career. Now, before we hit the big waves, shout out again to my subscribers. Y'all know the drill. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Keep it real while we keep this story rolling. The 70s were a proven ground. Mtume worked behind the scenes producing for the likes of Stacy Lattisaw and Stephanie Mills. He was the man pulling strings, crafting hooks, beats, and arrangements that would make even the most seasoned producer nod in respect. And yet, he wasn't about flashing the limelight. Mtume played the game quietly, masterfully, letting his music speak louder than his name. That's street-level genius. Do the work, let others chase your shine, and stay 2 moves ahead. Then came the 80s, and with it, the track that would cement Mtume's place in music history, Juicy Fruit. Released in 1983, the song wasn't just smooth, it was seductive, funky, and unforgettable. The beat? Laid back but hypnotic. The lyrics? Subtle, sexy, and street smart. It didn't just climb the charts, it infected them, influencing hip-hop, R&B, and pop for decades. Ask anyone from Biggie to modern R&B producers, if you've ever sampled a track that hits right in the chest, chances are it came from Mtume's genius. But here's the thing, Mtume wasn't about letting one hit define him. Nah, he stayed cool, calculating, and still grinding, producing, composing, and mentoring other artists. Juicy Fruit was the crown jewel, sure, but it was part of a bigger empire of sound, rhythm, and style he had been cultivating for decades. Beyond the studio, life had its own rhythm. Mtume experienced the highs of acclaim and the lows of industry bullshit. Ego clashes, contractual headaches, romantic drama. He took it all in stride, channeling pain and triumph alike into his music. Urban truth. Greatness rarely comes without baggage, and Mtume carried his with the poise of a man who knew the crown was his regardless of who tried to snatch it. And speaking of the crown, his influence is everywhere. You hear it in sampled beats, smooth grooves, and the DNA of R&B. Hip-hop, don't even get me started. From the golden era of the 90s to modern tracks, Mtume's fingerprints are all over the game. The man didn't just create music, he crafted legacies that evolved across generations. Let's break down his production style for a second. M2Me had an ear for layering sounds, crafting textures, and creating moods that felt alive. He understood that a drum hit, a bass line, or a subtle synth could tell a story just as much as lyrics. And he applied this philosophy not just to his solo work, but to every artist he touched. That's why tracks he produced weren't just hits. They were immersive experiences. He also navigated a male-dominated, often exploitative industry with the kind of street smarts most producers didn't have. He knew when to push, when to hold back, and when to let the music speak louder than the contracts. That's the kind of wisdom that separates a legend from a flash in the pan. And yo, shout out to my subscribers holding it down again. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't yet, because we're about to get even deeper into the grind, the street level struggles, and the legacy building that makes M2Me more than just a name. He's a movement. There's a human side too, y'all. M2Me wasn't some untouchable studio robot. He loved, lost, laughed, struggled, and survived. Relationships, family, friends, the pressure of constant innovation. He felt it all. And yet somehow, he kept creating, kept vibing, and kept influencing. That's a level of resilience that doesn't come with instruction manuals. That's innate street-honed genius. And the influence, let me spell it out. Juicy Fruit alone has been sampled, interpolated, and revered across decades. From Biggie's Juicy to countless R&B hits, M2Me's work transcends eras. Producers, artists, and fans may try to imitate or honor it, but the original groove, untouchable, legendary. That's the crown he wears silently, letting the music do the talking while the world catches up. His legacy isn't just in sound either. It's in how he worked, how he thought, and how he treated the craft. Studio hours, late night sessions, and mentoring young talent, all part of the blueprint he laid for generations. That's why, when you study modern R&B, funk, or hip-hop, M2Me's fingerprints are unavoidable. Life lessons from M2Me's grind? Here's the real talk. Talent alone won't pay the bills, but talent plus hustle plus strategy equals legendary status. Keep your ego in check, let the craft lead, innovate relentlessly, but honor the past. And no matter what, never sleep on the streets that raised you. They're the ones keeping you grounded. As we bring this story to a close, remember, M2Me is more than a musician. He's a cultural architect, a studio genius, and a street-smart visionary whose music and influence ripple through time. His story is a blueprint for creators, a testament to the grind, and a warning to anyone trying to shortcut greatness. Before we sign off, one last time, massive respect to my subscribers holding it down from day one. Don't sleep, like, and subscribe, and keep supporting real stories like this one. This ain't just a biography, it's a masterclass in legacy, resilience, and genius. That's M2Me. That's MW One Stop's Crown Legends.